If 3 of the next 7 things I say feel familiar, someone in your life isn't loving you, they're managing you. And you've probably been calling it something else. That's just how they are. They didn't mean it like that. I'm probably overreacting. You're not overreacting. You're underinformed. And in the next 10 minutes, that changes. Manipulation doesn't announce itself. Nobody sits you down and says, I am now going to control how you think. It arrives disguised as love, as concern, as jokes, as just being honest with you. By the time most people recognize it, they've already lost years of their confidence, their money, their sense of their own memory. So, here are 7 signs, real psychology behind every one of them. Keep count as we go. If 3 or more land, stay until the end, because the shield at the end of this video is the part that actually protects you. Sign 1. The goalposts always move. You meet every condition they set. You apologize when you're wrong, you change the behavior they complained about, you do exactly what they asked. And somehow, it's still not enough. A new complaint appears to replace the old one, right on schedule. This isn't a coincidence and isn't you failing to try hard enough. Psychologists call this a moving target dynamic, and it exists for one purpose: to keep you permanently in the position of trying to earn something that was never actually available to earn. If the goalposts move every single time you reach them, the goalposts were never the real issue. Your compliance was. Think about how this actually plays out. You stop leaving your phone on silent because it made them anxious. New complaint: you don't share your location often enough. You start sharing your location. New complaint: you don't call enough during the day. Notice what's happening. Each solved problem is instantly replaced. That's your first clue you're not dealing with a genuine concern. You're dealing with a system designed to never resolve. Sign 2. Selective memory. Specifically, theirs. They remember every mistake you've ever made in painful detail. Dates, exact words, the tone of your voice. But the promise they made you last Tuesday? Gone. The apology they owe you? Never happened, according to them. This has an actual name in psychology: DARVO, deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. It was coined by researcher Jennifer Freyd. The pattern goes like this: you bring up something that hurts you, they deny it happened, they attack you for even bringing it up, and somehow by the end of the conversation, they're the one who's hurt and you're the one apologizing. If you regularly walk away from confrontations more confused about what just happened than when you started, DARVO is very likely why. Sign 3. Triangulation. Bringing in a third person to do their pressuring for them. Even your mother thinks you're overreacting. I told our friend what happened and they agree with me. Suddenly, it's not just the two of you, it's you against a small, invisible jury they assembled without your knowledge. And you're always the one being judged. Sometimes the third person is real and was fed a one-sided story. Sometimes they don't even exist. Either way, the function is identical. It makes their opinion feel like consensus and makes your objection feel isolated and unreasonable, even when you're the only one who actually has the full picture. Family systems therapists have a specific term for this: triangulation. Originally used to describe how tension between two people gets displaced onto a third to avoid dealing with it directly. In a manipulative dynamic, it gets weaponized. Instead of resolving conflict between the two of you, they recruit an audience. And now, disagreeing with them means disagreeing with a group. Most people back down from a group faster than they'd back down from one person. That's precisely the point. Sign 4. Fake vulnerability. Deployed at exactly the moment you try to hold them accountable. You bring up something that hurt you. Instead of addressing it, they suddenly break down. Their childhood, their stress, their own pain, all pouring out right on cue. And now you're the one comforting them. Your original concern? Never actually addressed, just quietly buried under someone else's tears.
Real vulnerability shows up on its own timeline. Whenever it shows up, weaponized vulnerability shows up exclusively when it's needed, specifically when it's needed to end a conversation they were losing. Sign 5. Warmth with strings attached. Affection isn't steady. It's a reward for compliance and a punishment withdrawn the second you assert yourself. Do what they want, you get warmth, attention, approval. Set a boundary, disagree, say no, the temperature drops instantly, sometimes for days. This is called conditional regard, and here's what it trains your brain to do over time. It teaches you to associate your own opinions with the loss of love. Eventually, you stop having opinions around this person at all. Not because you agree with them, because disagreement has become too expensive. Psychologists studying attachment describe this exact pattern as one of the most reliable predictors of anxious behavior in a relationship. Not because the person receiving it is naturally anxious, but because inconsistent reward is, by every measure behavioral science has, more addictive and more anxiety-inducing than either constant warmth or constant coldness. Your brain never gets to relax because it never knows which version of them is coming next. Sign 6. Slowly, your other relationships start feeling like more effort than they're worth. It rarely looks like being told don't see your friends. It looks like exhaustion that shows up every time you make plans without them. It looks like subtle jabs about the people who care about you, just enough doubt planted that reaching out starts to feel like more trouble than it's worth.
Isolation is quiet by design. Cutting you off directly would be obvious, and obvious things get resisted. Making your support system feel like a hassle achieves the exact same result, without ever having to ask you to give anyone up. Here's the marker that separates this from ordinary jealousy or a bad mood. Track it over months, not days. A partner having one rough week and needing extra support is human. A pattern where every single friendship, every family relationship, every outside connection you have gradually becomes complicated or draining to maintain, while your relationship with them stays the one uncomplicated constant, is not a coincidence of timing. It's the entire support network around you being quietly thinned out, one exhausted excuse at a time. Sign 7. Insults wrapped in "I'm just joking." A comment that stings, aimed at something you're genuinely insecure about, and if you react, you're suddenly too sensitive, can't take a joke, making a big deal out of nothing. This is a live test, run at your expense, to find out exactly where your limits sit. And every time you laugh it off instead of naming it, the line moves a little further into territory that should never have been opened in the first place. So, how many landed? If it was 3 or more, I want to say this clearly. This is not a character flaw in you. Every single mechanism I just described exists specifically because it works on emotionally intelligent, empathetic, loyal people. Manipulators don't target the naive. They target the people who give other people the benefit of the doubt, because that instinct is exactly what gets exploited. 3 things, starting today. 1. Start naming patterns out loud, even just to yourself. That's the 3rd time the goalposts move. That's DARVO. Naming a mechanism takes away most of its power because it stops feeling like your fault and starts looking like a repeatable move. 2. Keep an outside record. A note on your phone, a friend who remembers events with you, anything external to your own memory. Manipulation depends on your memory being the only version available to argue with. Give yourself a second source. 3. Watch reactions, not words. Say a calm, small no to something minor this week. Not a big confrontation, just a small, ordinary no. A healthy person adjusts and moves on. Someone running these patterns will show you exactly which one almost immediately. And here's the part I want you to actually hold on to. None of this means every difficult person in your life is a manipulator, and it doesn't mean conflict itself is a red flag. Every real relationship has friction, bad days, and misunderstandings. What separates ordinary human friction from these 7 patterns is repetition and direction. Does it happen consistently? And does it consistently benefit the same person at your expense? One bad conversation is a bad conversation. A pattern is a pattern. You are not too sensitive. You are not imagining it. And now you have language for what's actually been happening. Tell me in the comments, which sign hit hardest? I read every single one. And if this helped you see something clearly for the first time, subscribe. Because next time, we're going even deeper. Gaslighting, and exactly how someone can make you doubt your own memory of your own life.